Hi, this is Craig Rice with another edition of the Rice Report, coming to you from my office, your office here in Rockville, updating you about what's going on in the County Council and how it might affect your daily life. I wanted to talk to you about what many of you have heard about, which is the Stop the Pension Shift movement that's happening throughout this state and especially here in Montgomery County. And what it basically represents is a paradoxical shift from the responsibilities that the state had with regards to paying for teacher pensions, and now shifting that to our local governments. This is a difficult situation for me because I've served in Annapolis for 4 years, and while I understand the state's fiscal constraints, I still struggle with the understanding that while we had a $2 billion deficit when I was a state delegate in our special session in 2007, we have half of that deficit now, and all of a sudden this proposal comes on our doorsteps. Really doesn't make a lot of sense to me. And primarily because our local governments, the Montgomery County Council, as well as councils throughout this great state, don't have any impact or any kinds of decision making over the salaries or the amount of pensions that are paid for our teachers. And so while I understand the state finds itself in a fiscal crisis and challenges are looming and there are potential cuts and revenue enhancements that need to be made, I feel as though this shift is the wrong thing for us to do, and especially at the wrong time. It jeopardizes many of the things that we have tried to put forward. The Montgomery County Council has proposed a maintenance of effort budget in support of the superintendent and the Board of Education. And so for us, it represents, again, an undoing of us trying to get ourselves back on firm footing financially as a county. I hope that you would visit www.stoptheshiftmd.com, where you can take a look at where our stance is on the Stop the Shift movement and also weigh in with your legislators. We do need your help. Maintenance of effort is another bill that's been proposed in the General Assembly in terms of a maintenance of effort reform. And while I understand that we need to support education, the proposal that is before the General Assembly right now creates an imbalance in local government and really does not allow for us to accurately reflect our commitment to education versus what the state's expectation of our commitment to education is. It jeopardizes the autonomy of our local elected leaders to be able to do what they need to in terms of supporting education, while also understanding that there are a myriad of other services that need to be provided to our residents. And so while I understand that we've got to do everything we can to make sure that our teachers, as well as our students and our education system is supported, I feel as though there are tweaks that need to be made to this bill to make it such that we don't create an imbalance in our local government. I want to talk to you about public safety because many of you have weighed in about some of the crime concerns in Montgomery Village and throughout District 2 that I represent. And let me tell you that we just recently held a meeting, public safety forum in Montgomery Village, along with Willie Parker Lone, who's the commander of the 6th District, as well as Chief Tom Manger and County Executive Ike Leggett. And this was a great meeting in which the county executive laid out a proposal that's going to be released on Thursday, where he talks about the addition of police officers. Many of you are concerned about the lack of an actual 6th District police station being constructed, and we're very concerned about that leased space. I actually toured that leased space a few days ago, and it provides ample space for our police officers to do what they need to do. But again, our policing is done from our police cars. It's not done from our station. And so I think that the county executive's rollout in his proposal, as well as the foundation of us making sure that we're committed to stamping out crime in the up-county, is where we are, and I think that we'll see some great benefits of having those additional officers on the street. I also wanted to talk about our school resource officers and make sure that those of you that support officers in our school know that this is still something that's at the forefront for me. I will continue to fight to make sure that we preserve our school resource officer program and hopefully expand it to every single one of our high schools in the county, and it should also extend to our middle schools as well. As we see a myriad of people with challenges that continue to bring those challenges to school with them, we need to be vigilant in making sure that our police officers are involved in true community policing, which means that they're interacting with our students. I wanted to talk to you about a little insight on me as a personal note. Recently was fortunate enough to have a program called Decision Makers that highlights my decision to run for office and how I became a state delegate and now a member of the county council. And I encourage you to take a look at it. It's on YouTube, and it's a great opportunity for you to get a little insight into my background. And so I hope you would take a look at that. It's a great piece produced by Barbara Grunbaum and does an absolutely phenomenal job. Many of you know that I just recently became the lead for libraries. And so as we go through our capital budget, one of the top two priorities for our libraries were Wheaton Library and Davis Library. And I can tell you very happily that we restored funding for Wheaton Library and put it back in our CIP. It is on track and is a top tier priority, as well as Davis Library that's going to get additional needed improvements. And while it's not in the CIP, the renovations and modifications and remediations necessary to make Davis Library whole again will be done and have been committed by our Department of General Services. And so I'm very happy to see those outcomes. And I think that, again, as I visit libraries throughout the county, I recently toured Damascus Library and actually had the opportunity to read at Lois P. Rockwell Elementary School for Read Across America Day. It will be important for me to spread the word that libraries are an important function of county government, and we need to do all that we can to support them and make sure that they continue to be an integral part of our community for many years to come. I also serve on the Metropolitan Washington Council of Governments Chesapeake Bay Water Resources Committee. And one of the things that's now at our forefront is also something that's happening in Annapolis, which is the governor's proposed flush tax. And I'm very concerned about the latest proposal that shifts from an actual graduated fee based on consumption to now a flat fee, because it means that the mother of four who has very conservative usage is going to be paying the same amount of money as a person who might live in Potomac with a multi-million-dollar home. And I feel as though that's not the right precedent for us to set. We really need to make sure that this is a progressive fee. And so I continue to work with members in Annapolis as well as with my policy committee with the Metropolitan Washington Council of Governments to make sure that we focus on changing this policy shift and bring it back to the governor's original proposal, which was a graduated fee instead of a flat tax. There are many things that are going to be coming in the waning days as the county executive releases his operating budget. Currently, we're negotiating and debating about a myriad of different projects in our CIP, or Capital Improvements Projects budget. And so I encourage you to be very vigilant in terms of any projects that concern you, to make sure you're reaching out to me and other members of the County Council. You can always reach me at my office via telephone at 240-777-7955. You can also reach me via email at councilmember.rice@montgomerycountymd.gov. So I invite you to, again, keep in contact with us. There'll be more to come as we delve into the operating budget and see what happens with Annapolis regarding the pension shift as well as maintenance of effort. And I continue to promise to work with you to make sure that we achieve the best outcome for Montgomery County. So again, thank you for tuning in, and God bless.